single-seater racing now, and round 8 not only of the Pro Tour but also of the Formula V Championship here at Phakisa. And some controversy in the paddock as reigning champion Alan Holm and his teammate Jakob Schritz have decided not to compete this weekend following their disqualification at Kyalami last time around for technical infringement. So that leaves the door open really for Dennis Johns to streak away in the championship. And he gets pole position by more than a second over Courtney Steenveld after qualifying. Trevor Bland and Zaahir Essa on the second row, ahead of Peter Hills and Sim Grobler. All set for the start of the first race, over 9 laps, and a good start on the left-hand side of your screen by championship leader Dennis Johns. But will he actually hold on to his lead into turn 1? And the answer is no. It's Courtney Steenveld who sneaks through, gets an even better start. And will he be able to consolidate on that one as they take the run down? Yes, he does. So Courtney Steenveld takes the lead from Dennis Johns. Just behind them, it's a battle between Trevor Bland in the black and yellow car and Zaahir Essa in the silver car, going down the inside there. So the battle is on already. Peter Hills down in 5th position. That's where he qualified, so he hasn't made up anything as they come down into this turn for the first time. And Steenveld is going to hold on to his lead, or is he? Well, he's got the inside line, goes a little bit wide, but now he's got the inside line for the left-hander coming up, and Courtney Steenveld is certainly looking very strong so far this weekend, despite the gap that he had. Oh, and that's Essa going a little bit wide. I don't think he will lose out a lot in that incident, but despite the gap of just over a second between Steenveld and Dennis Johns in qualifying, Steenveld is certainly looking very strong. The two of them now starting to pull away from the rest of the group. So it's Steenveld from Johns, Bland, Essa and Hills, and just behind them is Sim Grobler, and looks like Trevor Smith is also a former champion, also starting to come into the picture. Down the back straight now for the first time, and here's the run, and Johns has got the inside line. Here they go, 3x3 into that corner. Trevor Bland just swoops across the bows there. Trevor Bland into, or holds on to his 3rd position, but the new leader is Dennis Johns as they come around the final few corners to complete lap 1 out of 9. What a great start to this race, and certainly the indications are that this battle is going to continue right throughout the duration of the race. So Dennis Johns swoops around the final corner at the end of lap 1, and he leads the field across the line. It's Johns from Steenveld, Bland, Essa, Peter Hills, Sim Grobler in 6th position. Essa has a look there on the inside of Trevor Bland. Nice move if he can make it stick. Well, he did it, and he's, of course, a driver with much less experience than somebody like Trevor Bland. He's certainly not showing that lack of experience in that move. So a two-way battle for the lead, and a two-way battle for 3rd position at the moment. Bland is going to try and come back, but I don't think it's close enough there. Bland drops back to 4th position. Hills, Grobler and Smith a little bit further back as Dennis Johns takes the defensive line into the right-hander, and Courtney Steenveld is going to try and swoop around the outside. Has he taken the lead? We'll pick it up now. It looks like he's well positioned. Yes, he's done it. Courtney Steenveld is on fire this weekend. He's very determined, and Dennis Johns has certainly got a job on his hands as they take the run down towards the back straight. That flat-out double right-hander coming up now, and Steenveld now on the defense, and Johns goes around the outside. Just so late on the brakes there. Beautiful move. Johns certainly looks like the champion-elect, the way he's driving, not getting into trouble. Here's a battle a little bit further back between Sim Grobler and the number 4 car and Trevor Smith. But just ahead of them, here's the attack from Courtney Steenveld. He's going to take that 1st place back. 17-year-old Courtney Steenveld, development driver from the Western Cape, and is certainly showing all his talents here and his racing skill and racing craft. A little bit further back, this is Trevor Smith, a former champion, making an appearance here at Phakisa, and certainly mixing it up with some of the front runners there. Around the final corner once again, and Steenveld has got it. Has he got it nailed now? Will he be able to open up a gap over Dennis Johns? Johns, of course, knows that his main title contender, or rival rather, Alan Holm, is not here, so wherever he finishes, he's still going to stretch his lead in the championship, and one has to question the reasons behind the absence of the 3-time champion. Isn't he just shooting himself in the foot in the process? That's the question. But back to the track action, and all throughout the field there are battles going on. This is the battle for the lead, and Steenveld is under attack by Dennis Johns, and Johns sneaks through the inside. Nice clean maneuver there. Just look at that big bump just in the exit of that corner. It must unsettle the drivers and the cars as well. But now Dennis Johns knows that he's under attack again from the youngster from the Western Cape, who's very determined this weekend. He hasn't won this, in fact, he hasn't won in his Formula V career so far, so he's looking very good. At least he's got the potential to take the victory, but that's a long way ahead. There's Peter Hills going through. This is Trevor Smith. Just behind Trevor Smith, it's Simkrobla. Lap 7 out of 9, and the battles continue in this, the 8th round. The first race is the 8th round of the Formula V Championship 2008. And Dennis Johns at the front of the field has stretched his lead over Courtney Steenveld. This is the battle in the race at the moment. It's for third. It is Zaahir Essa leading Trevor Bland and Trevor Smith a little bit further back. The battle for 7th. Ben Pienaar in the yellow car leading Johan Goos. And then we've got Jannie Geyser Jr. He's right there. Just behind him is his father, Jannie Geyser Sr., dropping back slightly. Nico Blichnoot also a part of that equation a little bit further back. But this is a nice three-way battle for 7th. As they come across the line once again, Ben Pienaar under attack, under some very serious pressure from Johan Goos, who dives down the inside under braking for turn 1. And he's got him very careful. You've got to be with these single-seaters. Don't let the wheels get entangled. And now Geyser Jr. also has a look. As we go back to the battle for third, and Essa is stretching it over Trevor Bland. And Trevor Smith in the background just holding on there. He hasn't been in action for a long time, but it's great to see him in action on track once again. Trevor Smith, here he comes, and there's Simkrobla starting to drop back. He's still in 6th position. After that, we've got that three-way battle for 7th. The leaders go through. At the front of the field, Dennis Johns has stamped his authority over the youngsters, so Johns is well on his way to a victory. But here's the battle in the race at the moment. Three-way battle for 7th. Ben Pienaar under attack from Johan Goos and Jannie Geyser Jr. And Pienaar is doing exceptionally well to soak up all that pressure, but is he going to be able to maintain that until they get to the checkered flag? In the background there's Jannie Geyser Sr. and then Nico Blichnoot in 11th position as well. But all eyes on this battle for 7th position rather. And Pienaar takes the defensive line. Now he will lose momentum going onto the backstretch. And this is a chance for Johan Goos to take the slipstream and then dive down the inside. Will he be able to make it now? And here comes Jannie Geyser Jr. as well. And it's Goos that goes through, and Geyser just not close enough to also take that position away. But Ben Pienaar has lost out on the battle in the battle for 7th. And Goos, oh, and those two getting very close together, Pienaar and Jr. But this just shows you, oh, and that's Trevor Smith. That's Trevor Smith going into the pits. So that means that everybody behind him will move up one position. This becomes the battle for 6th position now. But what a pity, Trevor Smith not able to complete this race at all. So while these three cross the line a little bit further up the road, Dennis Johns has got a gap of about 5 seconds over Courtney Steenveld. And then Zaahir Essa is starting to stretch it. Here's our race leader. It's Dennis Johns is going to take the first victory of the day. That's the gap between him and Courtney Steenveld, who just wasn't able to hold on and continue the battle for the victory. Here's Zaahir Essa, comfortably ahead in 3rd place, ahead of Trevor Bland. And Simkrobla is likely to cross the line in 5th position. So they're on their final lap now. One of the back markers coming up there. As Simkrobla just makes his way around that slower car. And no problems for him there. So the back marker is not playing a role in this race, not at all. Dennis Johns is going to take the victory quite easily if he keeps the car on the black stuff. Here he comes, got 2 more corners to go, 1 more after this. And Dennis Johns is going to stretch his lead in the championship even further with another 15 points for a victory. Checkered flag awaits, and Dennis Johns takes that victory in the end quite comfortably, although he certainly had to fight pretty hard for it in the initial stages of the race. Confirmation of that, Steenveld finishes about 6 seconds behind Dennis Johns. Zaahir Essa comfortably in 3rd place ahead Trevor Bland, Simkrobla and Ben Pienaar.